This is Jay Krishnamurti's first discussion with teachers at Rishi Valley, 1978.
Is everybody here?
Everybody. Everybody's here.
I'm here, so is everybody. Pama is not here. Come and sit down. That's better. Will you tell me what to talk about? May I ask a few questions? Are you all happy here? Secure? And you feel, if I may ask, that you're not compelled or under pressure to listen to what I have to say. May I ask these questions? And as a group of educators, is this what we are interested in? Or if you had a better job, more money, would you drop this and go away? By questioning, one is being challenged. And one has to respond to them. Not casually or indifferently, but as the challenge is, as all challenges are, demanding, urgent, compelling. What is one's response to all this? Either one is cynical or bitter, or being compelled to stay in this place because of circumstances. Or we are human beings grown up and have willingly, voluntarily, happily come here to do work. That's a challenge. And we respond to that challenge with equal intensity please. Every culture which is part of us is being challenged throughout the world. Economically, socially, politically, religiously, in every direction. We are being challenged. Not only from outside, from without, but also inwardly. Are we responding to it with equal integrity? So I'd like to ask, if I may, this question. Whether as a group of teachers and educators, we are challenging ourselves and responding to that challenge fully. Or are we merely settling down in a comfortable place with a family and grumbling cynically or bitterly where somebody else travels and we're stuck with our little family and my God, I wish I could travel like everybody else, and so on. I wonder what our responses are. I don't know if you'll answer it. Probably you won't. But if you do answer it to yourself at least, what is your actual response? Actual, I mean by that word, that which is taking place now. The meaning of that word is what is happening now. I think this is rather important, if I may point out. Because as educators, we are responsible for the future generation. You may think that's high-floating nonsense, a theoretical, rhetoric statement, but actually, if you observe that you are responsible wholly for a future generation. And do we meet that challenge? I hope you don't mind my talking seriously. And if you are not interested in it, please get up and go. Go back to your studies and all the rest of it. I'm not forcing you to stay here. You don't have to listen to me at all. And I really mean this. If you do listen, and I hope you'll be good enough to listen, aren't we as educators, as grown-up people, seeing the utter misery and confusion of the world? Aren't we responsible wholly, totally, for all the children that come here? And are we educating them to meet this enormous chaos in the world? You understand my question, sirs? Or are we merely satisfied to help them to pass some exams and be academically good, and the rest neglect it or be not concerned because we have our own problems, our own individual, personal problems, and so that's always in the background. And we may be very good academically to transmit some information to the students. And as educators, are we concerned with the whole development of man, of the student? Please, this is a challenge to you. You understand what I mean by a challenge? Challenge means you are asked, you are demanded, you have to answer. Not to me, life is demanding this. Every event that's going on in the world is a challenge for all of us. You may say, well, it's all very nice for you to come for a week or a month and talk about all this, but we have to stay here with our families. Not sufficient, probably enough money, grumbling, cynical, bitter, little bit frightened. Therefore, we're always concerned with ourselves and our meeting the extraordinary crisis that is a great challenge. That's why sirs and ladies are asked, or ladies and sirs, but mucho. If you are happy here, not satisfied, not saying, well, it's very nice. That becomes too silly for grown-up people to say it's all very nice and comfortable. But happiness involves not only cultivation of the intellect, good mind, capacity to think very clearly, objectively, but also have great deal of affection, love, all that involves extraordinary sense of happiness, gaiety. And security, which I also said, are you secure here? Security implies great responsibility. If one wishes to be secure, one has to work for it. Not others provide and I'm secure. That becomes so rather infantile, rather immature way of attitude of life. Please, I'm not scolding or trying to push you in any direction. Or compelling you to listen to what I have to say. You can always switch off very easily. So if we can exchange, have a conversation between us, easily, happily. I'm nobody. And I mean it. I come and go. But if we could talk to each other, exposed to each other, of our problems, of our conflicts, of our confusion, misery, whatever it is, to talk it over. Will you? Will you, Mr. Major? And you, sir? Will you? No, keep quiet, then there is no fun. Perhaps you may talk to me or perhaps to me by yourself. But we are a community of people, somewhat isolated, fortunately, from the chaotic world. And as we are living in a small community, in a lovely place, we must get to know each other. Trust each other. Have confidence in each other. Have we? For God's sake, come on. I can't.
May I ask something, sir?
Good.
people do come with an intensity, especially young people. But this intensity is not always coupled with the learning situation. It seems to go off for various reasons which is beyond one's control. You come with a great deal of intensity, you want to teach, you want to learn, but somehow
It
it
fades.
doesn't go with learning situation. The learning fades, and the intensity seems to become some kind of a stalemate, and you start correcting others instead of. It happens to many people. You're interested in helping the other person. You're not able to help yourself. Why does this happen? Is it possible to correct this situation? I've seen it happen with many teachers. They're intense, but somehow the learning process doesn't go on with intensity.
May I want to be clear if I have understood the question. May I repeat it? One comes with a great deal of enthusiasm, interest. Oh, we must be careful, the word enthusiasm and interest. Enthusiasm soon fades, right? But interest is there. It doesn't fade. And the question is, can this intensity go with learning? Learning being not only teaching,
Yes.
but also learning oneself. Is that
Learning
it?
in relationship.
That is, not only giving information to the students about arithmetic, mathematics, geography and all the rest of it, but also learning about oneself and one's relationship with the student. Can these two go together, intensity and learn? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Is that a problem? Are you inventing a problem?
No. I mean, if somebody has no intensity, this is no problem at all.
Of course.
But I think it is a problem, as I see it, in relation to myself and a few others here. They may not be able to articulate it. And as we live in a small community and no outlets, it does sometimes lead to a stalemate, though one may get out of
I
it
see.
sooner or later.
I understand.
There's a time lag, though.
Mrs. Major.
Am I?
I ask them, sir. I'm waiting.
What is, am I representing
They all
enough?
sit there quiet. For God's sake.
What is say, Krishnakuti?
So you use the word learning situation.
Learning, I said.
Learning situation.
Yeah.
I hope it includes the whole place.
The whole
not
place.
only the classroom situation.
It includes the classroom as well.
Yes, of course, we are not neglecting the classroom, but it includes life in the community.
In
as a
relationship.
whole. The whole thing.
The whole relationship.
Yes.
I want to understand this a little more clearly. When you say the whole, what do you mean by that?
The school, sir. The whole place.
The
our
school,
life here.
the earth,
Yes.
the trees, the rocks, the mountains, and also the nature. The whole. I want to understand what you mean by that whole.
Life here, sir.
Why here?
We are here, sir.
Do you separate? I'm questioning, I'm not.
I understand.
Do you separate the life here from the world?
No, not at all.
So the life here is the world.
Precisely.
So you are learning about the world,
Yes.
which is yourself,
Yes.
hmm?
Yes.
Right? Whether you are in a small community, in a family, small family, or working in the world, it is the same problem. Right, sir? So it is not we are here and they are there. I don't know if I'm making...
Yes, sir. We are not separating ourselves from the world outside.
That's
No,
all
we
I
are not.
wanted to know.
No.
So, our question is, if I understand it rightly, are we learning? Learning about our relationship with each other, our relationship with the students, right? Our relationship with my wife or husband, our relationship with all our contacts, both intellectual, emotional, sentimental, romantic, the whole of it. Is that what you're trying to convey? I come here and I've got tremendous enthusiasm, interest. Not because I come here because I can't get other jobs, right? I come here because I'm attracted to this. I want this kind of thing. I want it for my children, for my daughter, for my wife. I want this kind of life. So I come here because that's my tremendous interest. And in that interest includes teaching, school, the whole thing, right? Do we feel that way? Rajesh sir, somebody, you are articulate, if I remember rightly, and so is Mrs. Thomas and Miss Raul. Please, come on.
You don't feel at home.
What, sir?
You don't feel at home.
We don't feel
At home.
at home.
You see, that
Probably
just...
because his home is very near. You're living very close.
What?
No, I think I can get what Ramesh says. There are times when you feel that you are not a part of the community, however much you may try to be part of it. There is a kind of a barrier, I might say that. Because what he meant about enthusiasm fading, I feel it's happening to me. There are times when I feel that there is only interest left, no enthusiasm.
There's only interest, no enthusiasm.
The initial enthusiasm with which I came,
Is gradually fading.
it is fading.
Why?
That's exactly what I want to know.
I'll tell you. We'll find out.
No, I try to think about it a lot. But there are instances when you are you are made to feel that you are not part of the community itself. Then you don't feel like doing it. You might have the interest, but the enthusiasm wanes. So you withdraw.
No, wait a minute. Well, let's be clear. The word enthusiasm and interest, right? One is if a mother is greatly interested in her children, that interest doesn't fade.
No.
But being enthusiastic about something does fade, right? So let's forget the word enthusiasm and stick to the word interest. Why does that interest fade when we are living in a community and you feel that somehow a barrier arises between people? Is that barrier created by a hierarchical structure?
I wouldn't say it's a hierarchical structure.
I'm just asking. Well, I'm investigating. It's not that.
At times, well, maybe I interpret it that way, that when a person in a particular situation imposes or insists on another person believing what he or she says, then it becomes a kind of imposition of a barrier.
opinion against opinion,
Quite often.
judgment against judgment, evaluation against another evaluation, and each one sticking to his own prejudice, opinion. And opinion is just the same as prejudice, if you go into it. Doesn't matter, we'll go into it. So if I stick to my opinion, you stick to your opinion, naturally there is barrier. If I think this is so and you think that's not so, naturally. And in that division, one loses contact. And one separates oneself. And thereby loses this vitality, this integrity, this deep interest. Right? Do we agree to that? Mr. Tom? Those gentlemen don't speak at all. Right? Shall we go on with that? Why do we have opinions at all? Why should I have an opinion about you, or you have an opinion? Why? One says, please, this is a challenge, answer it. I have an opinion about Mr. Gandhi, politics, this, that. What for? You haven't answered my question.
Maybe I have an interest in the subject, or that which
Yes,
me in
if I have interest in the subject, I invite criticism, I invite their information, not their personal opinion. Who cares? I'm interested in that. If you are interested in that too, then opinions don't enter. If you and your husband have a child, the child is important, not your opinion, right? Or his opinion. Say, look, let's find out what's best for the child. Do we do that here? Or my opinion is more important. And so it's a battle of opinions, right? And what is an opinion? You see, you are discovering something. To live without opinion. Can you? Not difficult. I'm interested. One is interested in the right kind of living, right? So we both of us discuss what is the right kind of living. Not I say this is right and this is wrong, but what is the right kind of living, which means the art of living. Now let's talk about it, investigate it together. Not say, well, this is my opinion, that's your opinion, you think so and I think so. Then we stop investigating. Then we become silly asses. Right? So can we investigate the art of living? in a community, in a world, in a family, without opinions. Because opinions separate people, right? Beliefs separate people. Your experience opposed to my experience separate people. So can we drop all that? No. Will you drop all that? Not I can drop it easily because for me it's fun that way. Can you? All of you, sirs. Not her. Poor lady becomes the target. You are all the target. Can we live together in a community of this kind, which is involved in teaching, learning, communicating, without a single opinion? So don't see, it liberates one from, one is free, one feels, by Joe, one is free of all this muck.
If the communication is one-sided, then how is it possible to give up opinions?
Communication is never one-sided. There is no communication then.
Yes. No, if a man is very interested to move with other person with love and affection, if he doesn't get, and then if he tries honestly, if he doesn't get, then he has to create his own opinions.
No, no, sir. I want to communicate with you.
Yes.
With affection, with love, with blah, all the rest of it. But you won't listen to me. I'm doing this now. People don't see all this.
We do understand that that is the right thing to do, but I don't think anyone is able to live that way. Why? I would like to know.
Let's find out why.
That's the problem with us.
No, there's no problem.
Not one is able to live that way,
Why not?
nor operate that way.
We'll go into it. We'll go into it.
Yes.
That is, we will. I'm not offering my opinion against.
No.
We are together investigating why we cannot live that way, which is communicate with each other. And in that communication is involved not only a verbal communication at the verbal level, but also something much more, right? Not merely intellectual verbal clarification, right? But also a sense of affection, care, right? Give and take, all that's implied in communication, sharing, right? You say that's impossible to live that way. I'm asking why. I'm asking you, sir, why? Are you listening to what I am trying to communicate with you, right? I am really desperately trying to communicate with you. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Are you? Oh, you say, oh, God's sake, I've already heard all this umpteen times. Oh, please. Are you listening to what I'm talking about? Huh? Are you? Now, wait a minute. I want to know, be very clear, are you listening to what I'm saying? Or are you already forming an opinion. All right, if you are listening to me, I'm just not being impersonal about it. What do you mean by listening? Let's be very clear. You say, I'm listening to you. What do you mean by listening? Huh? That's your question, sir. You say, I want to communicate with you, which is my problem, which is what I'm trying to do. Or do you listen to me what I have to say? Well, sirs. And what do you mean by that word listening?
When we share our views.
Huh?
When we share our views.
No views. Views are opinions. I'm asking, please listen, sir. I'm asking, what do you mean by listening? Not to what you will listen to, but the act of listening. You understand? No, you understand this, sir? Huh? Do you understand? The act, not what you are going to listen to, but the actual state of listening. You understand? I want to tell you something. And I want to be quite sure that you are actually listening to what I'm saying. Right? That's all. I want to be quite sure that you are listening to what I'm saying. You understand? That's all. I want to find out what is your state of mind or your heart, whatever it is, that is listening. You understand this? You're fairly smart, so come on. Which means please listen, you have no opinion at that moment of listening. You're not judging, you're not evaluating what is being said, you're just listening. Right? Right? Are you? Are you, Indira? Don't say yes. Be very careful, because this is very easy to say yes, I'm listening, and it means nothing.
I'm able to listen to you now.
No, I am asking you and these gentlemen, what is the state of the mind that is listening? Is there an opinion? Oh, how do you say, well, I've heard this before. So your state of the mind that is listening is completely empty to find listening. Empty, you follow? That quality of complete emptiness in which there is total attention. What do you say, sirs? Are you listening that way?
I am now listening to you, sir.
Huh?
I am now listening to you.
You are listening to me?
Yes. Now.
Yeah. What? No, careful. I want to be quite sure, because this is important. Am I forcing you to listen? And therefore, yes, I'm doing my best. Or you are listening so that communication can take place. Right? So, in that state of listening, neither Indira nor I exist. Only there is a state of listening. Huh? Have you lost me or am I with you? You understand what I'm saying? If I say to you, I can't say to you that you're married and a husband, or anybody. If I say to you, I love you, will you listen to that? Well, sir, will you listen to it? Huh?
We listen, but
Huh?
we listen, but we can't understand what you mean by love.
Ooh, there we are. You see, what do you mean by love? Which means you have never been loved. Or you have never loved. Right? Right? That's just what I'm saying. You want verbal clarification. I will clarify what I mean by love, but it will be still verbal clarification. Right? So let's leave love alone for the time being, because I don't think, I won't go into it. I want to tell you something. And I have great affection, care. I want to really tell you something. And to tell another, the other person must also feel that I must listen to the man. I must also have that same feeling to listen. Have you got it? So that you have no problems. All that's gone. You just say, look, I want to tell you something, and you listen. Are you in that relationship? Then there is no problem. You understand that? I don't oppose your opinion. I have no opinions. I'm only concerned with the fact. I wonder if you see that. Huh? Mr. Venkataraman, am I addressing you correctly? What do you say, sir? So, you and I, or lady, have no opinion about this. It is called a microphone, right? I don't say, no, you don't say that's not a microphone, that's a giraffe. I say, well, but we all agree to call that microphone. That's a fact. But so in the same way, can you listen only to the fact, not to an opinion? When you are listening to or observing a fact, opinion has no place. Right? Right, sir? What do you say to all this?
That quality of intensity seems to come and go. At times it seems that we can listen completely, but other times it fades away and we become inattentive.
I don't think interest can ever fade away.
So the intensity of the interest can vary, and it is the intensity of the interest that calls for different viewing of the fact in different light. For example, when you talk to us, we know that you're absolutely unbiased.
Why?
God knows why, but the
I know, no.
it is a fact.
No, that's an easy way of getting out. I won't accept that. I said, I'm asking you, why do you think I'm unbiased? What gives you the feeling that I'm unbiased? I can tell you. May I tell you? I only stick to facts. Not what you tell me about the fact, or what I tell myself about the fact. I just look at the fact. The fact is, we are living in a community, and the fact is, we are not listening to each other. Right? That's the only fact. Then from that fact, I say to myself, why aren't we listening to each other? We are living in this place, we've got to listen to each other. But why don't we? Because, very simple, you have your opinion and I have my opinion. This is logical. So, finished. Facts have gone, opinions remain. But if we said, just a minute, if we both of us said, look, let's remain with the fact. That is, in a community of this kind, we must listen to each other. Otherwise, it's impossible to live together. Right? That's a fact. Right? So am I listening to you? Or you say, oh, well, I've seen that lady for years, she's so-and-so, so-and-so, and so, and I've stopped listening. So can I put away my opinions? If I can't listen to you. You have hurt me, listen carefully. You have hurt me, slighted me, insulted me, hurt me, and that remains, choking me, right? And I won't listen to whatever you say. Right? Can I drop my hurt? Otherwise I can't listen to you. I won't listen to you. Well, sir?
Sir, not to listen has almost become a habit, sir. Not to listen.
Not to listen, of course, because I am caught up in my own whirlpool of idiocy.
Yes.
Whirlpool of idiocy?
Yes.
You agree to that?
In certain times, yes. No.
Not at certain times. Look, Indira, I'm asking you something. Be simple. To even a husband and a wife and a community, a family, we must listen to each other, right? And we cannot possibly listen to each other if we have opinions. And if we have any sense of, oh, you are much bigger than I am, any sense of comparison, right? Can we put all that aside and listen? Huh? Can you? This is your challenge, sir. For God's sake, answer. Mr. Venkataraman, sir, what do you say? I'm not trying to browbeat you or trying to put you into corners who must reply. What this is...
I think it's
It requires different type of training altogether.
Different type of?
Training, to the way in which to see or to listen.
A different dimension?
Yeah.
He says it requires really a different type of training from what we have received.
No, no.
listen and
The
to
moment
see.
you use the word training, you have lost it.
Are you saying that we all...
Yes, because we, most of the time, we have got used to the type of learning situation in which the chap understands, recalls, an application, which is creativity, creative aspect of the learning. We have got used to that type of thing where mostly accumulation of knowledge takes place. Now, this type, what you are saying, seeing the fact of a particular statement.
You mean, may I put it differently? Your condition, one is not you, one is conditioned one way, and it's impossible to get out of that conditioning to listen properly. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, most of us, the type of education we are exposed to
has made you this,
yes.
And therefore that education, that training, that discipline, that way of living has prevents you there from listening. Is that it? Now, if you see the importance that the listening is far more important than the other, you drop the other. So, look, sir, you know as well as you do what the world situation is, right? The old traditional response is, carry on. Let's live in the mess. We have lived in the mess before. It is nothing new, and so on, so on. Or that you have to answer it totally differently, right? Which means I can't be conditioned by the culture in which I have been lived, which has produced this chaos. So the challenge is so great, I break away from it. And you understand? Huh? Do we do this? Or do you just say, yes, this is perfectly right, and carry on our way? Gosh, I can't understand why. Come on, sirs. All right, sir, let's start. If we are at all alive, if we are at all aware of things in the world and in ourselves, one must find a totally different way of living, right? Right, sir? Right? Now, what is that? What is a way of living totally different from the past which has made this mess? Right? Now, don't offer opinions. Right? Don't say, I know. I don't know. Can we start with that? Huh? You see, you refuse to ask. Or do you say, yes, this is the right way of living? Because Gita, the Upanishads, or some blasted guru says this. Or do I say, really, I can't, I must find out, I don't know. Huh? Are you like that, sirs? Oh, for the love of Krishna, let's go. I'll go into it. Let's please listen to it. First of all, I must be very clear in the usage of words, because I want to tell you about it. So you and I must be very clear what the words mean. Otherwise you say, well, this, that, and the other, well, no. We say the right way of living. Now, the word right means accurate. Right? Not accuracy according, but accurate. Accurate means in the observation of what is taking place now. That is accurate. Not what should take place or what has taken place. Right? Are you listening to all this? So, when I use the word right, accurate, correct, it means exactly what is happening now. So, am I aware of what is actually happening now? Not only outside, and also now what's happening in me, which is my relationship with him or with her. I wonder, is this, I'll go on, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you something, for God's sake, listen. So I say, what is happening? Do I know what is happening now? Or is always what has happened? You follow? Huh? You follow what I'm saying? Are you listening to this, sir? So I always know what has happened. Right? Never what is happening. Right, sir? Krishna Kuti, what do you say? Right? So, to understand what is happening, I must understand what has happened. Right? Because I live always in the past. Right? So let me understand what has happened in the past, not what is happening now. I wonder if you get this. Simple. So what has happened in the past? Because that's my life. My life is what has happened. And what has happened is colored by what is happening. Right? And that shapes the future. Right? So what has happened, which has produced in me this extraordinary chaos? Right? Are you? Oh, come on, sirs. Are you following all this? No? Let me go into it. So what has happened what are the events that have produced this? Right? Knowledge. Right? Right, sir? I don't know. Knowledge being the collective experience of mankind. That experience, which is knowledge, is transmitted from generation to generation through the genes and so on, which is the brain. Are you interested in this, or you're all? Huh? So the brain is the oldest instrument man has, or the woman has, the oldest is. And so this brain has lived in the past, is the past, and contains the past. No? Who is a biologist here? You know all this, I don't have to. I'm not a brain specialist, but you can see. So, that brain is operating always in its conditioning. Right? Are you listening to this, sirs? Huh? Don't be.
Sir, if you say the brain is the past, how can it get out of it? It is the past.
I'm coming to. Just listen. You're already ahead of me. You're not listening. That is, the brain is conditioned by the past, which is the tradition. The Hindu tradition, Christian tradition, the communist tradition, and so on. So that the brain is conditioned. Right? Right? Right, sir? Now, what will you do? What will the brain do to uncondition itself? Otherwise, you respond always according to that conditioning, which is based on reward and punishment. I will meditate in order to. Right? I will do this in order to have that. I'll follow the Guru in order to get that. So it's always reward and punishment, gratification and dissatisfaction, and so it's always this. Right?
Sir, it's not always this.
Huh?
So when the brain sees the stupidity of all this.
Wait, I'm coming. No, go slow, Rajesh. Go slow. First, I must know the brain. This is one of our difficulties, sir. The brain must know for itself how that it is conditioned. Not thought tells it is conditioned. Akapi, have you understood this? I can see, no, this is important. Please go into it slowly. I have heard you say this. The brain is conditioned. In the hearing of it with the ear, I've formed an idea. The brain is conditioned. That's an idea, right? Which is not facing the fact, but observing the fact and drawing you follow? Which becomes an idea. So I'm living with the idea, not with the fact. I wonder if you see that. So all our education is to make an abstraction of the fact, which is an idea, and live according to that idea, not with the fact. You getting this? Good lady. So, when you hear that the brain, please listen, that the brain is conditioned upon thousands of years, do you listen? Does the brain listen to the fact which it is conditioned that way, or you are telling the thought is telling the brain that is conditioned? You see the difference? Right, sir? Huh? Wait, no, I won't move till you are clear on this point.
I'm clear on this.
Wait, are you, sir? That your thought is not telling the brain that is conditioned. This is very, very, you have to watch it so carefully.
Now, one question is, how to say whether it is conditioned or not? For example, if I think in a particular direction, then I always think that I am right. And then if I analyze the event, even though I come to the same thing that
No,
I am
sir.
right.
No, sir.
So how to
I'm showing you. You are a Hindu. Your brain is conditioned by the tradition, by the superstition, by the rituals, by the Vedas, the Upanishads, and blah, blah, blah. You are conditioned. Right? That's a fact.
No, if
Huh?
I see that it is real, I am saying
That's a fact, isn't it?
yes.
And I am a Catholic or a Muslim, and I've been conditioned for a million years.
No, but what he's saying is, he thinks his conditioning is real.
What? But it is a fact. It's not real or unreal. An illusion can be real.
That's right.
I think what he meant was, how can you say whether you are not conditioned?
I didn't say no.
No, when Rajesh said that he's very sure that his brain is not conditioned.
No, I did not say that.
Is that something
No,
like
I
that?
was saying it is possible for the brain to play the trick that Sachinji mentioned, to make an idea out of it is conditioned. But the more it continues, and it is living, so it sees that no, even the idea that I am conditioned is still only conditioning. It's becoming more and more concerned now.
No,
But then again, you're
Rajesh.
prompted by an idea, you see. Once again, you're only banking on an idea. It's
That's
not
right.
total awareness. If you continue in that phase, then we are only battling against an idea which says, now you're not conditioned, now you're not conditioned.
The brain
Are
is
we
not
really
saying.
non-conditioned?
I'm delighted.
That's the point.
The ladies are winning. I'm delighted. Go to it, lady.
Is there a state of being totally non-conditioned?
I'm going to. That's wrong question.
Or how do we get to?
I am the wrong question.
Then you tell us.
I'm in the wrong question. No, seriously, sir, you're putting series of wrong questions. Because you're already thinking in terms of reward and punishment.
No.
When you say I am, how do you get there? Right? Right? Good.
So the crux of the thing seems to be what Venkataraman has been saying. We're all trained to have certain concepts applied. And you are saying something entirely different.
Entirely.
And the mind is too gross to sustain this or follow this.
Which means what? Which means what?
We are not listening.
That's it.
That's right.
Which means you are not listening to what is being said. Which is that you say, well, how do I know I'm conditioned? How do you follow? You're playing the fiddle all the time, but never listening, reading the music. That's not quite simile, but doesn't matter.
What what Abraham says is real. Because in a situation like in this country, with Hinduism being such a strong tradition, it is real, it works.
I say, of course it
Though
is.
it's an illusion,
It is an illusion which works.
yes. So that's again a big barrier to face. Some people don't face it at all.
I suppose it's the same that can be applied to any other faith or any other.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
We're
yes.
taking Hinduism
Ah.
because we're Hindus.
Quite right. But,
I said I'm a Catholic or a Muslim. I have been conditioned for centuries to repeat Allah or Christ, 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 whatever it is. Which is, I have accepted an illusion which has become a reality. But it's still illusion.
How to see that it is illusion?
So the brain can never get out of it.
Where I'm going to go slowly. How can I say it's an illusion?
How to see?
No. First I said it was an illusion. Then you say, how do you know it is an illusion? Why do you say it's an illusion? I might be wrong. So let's find out. You see, the difference is this. You won't want to find out, but I want to find out what's an illusion. What is an illusion? Not your illusion or my illusion, but what makes for illusion? Right? What do you think makes for an illusion?
The very brain itself.
Huh?
The very brain itself.
Huh?
The very brain of ours.
No, I'm asking you, what do you think or the source of illusion?
Idea about reality.
Huh?
Idea about reality.
Idea, all right, sir, that's one form of illusion. What is reality? You see, what is the cause of, all cause of illusion? Tell me, sir. Would you say the cause of all illusion is desire?
Seeking security.
Huh?
Search for security. Seeking security in something.
Would you seeking?
gratification.
Seeking, not security, but the very act of seeking, which is the very act of desire. I don't like this, but I like to have that. Right? Right? Would you then say, go slowly? You are asking what is illusion. You are following this, I hope. Somebody will. That. Where there is a desire, there must be illusion. Desire can create heaven. Because I live in hell, daily life, and I desire, for God's sake, let me escape from this. And so I create marvelous gods and 10 arms or 1 toe or big nose or whatever it is. Right? And after creating the desire, that becomes real. No? So, it's much more complicated. If you are interested in it, one can go into it. Thought is the source of all illusion. Right? So I say, I want to find out a way of living daily life which is correct, accurate. I cannot find out a way of living which is accurate if I don't understand the whole movement of the past, which is my hurts, my longings, my prejudices, my problems, my desire for power, position. This is my past, which all my grandmothers and grandfathers for the last million years have had the same thing, both biologically and intellectually and emotionally, right? Physically and psychologically. That's my conditioning. My brain is conditioned to that. It's so obvious. A Muslim brought up, he remains a Muslim. Hindu brought up. Right? So, next question is the brain aware of itself being conditioned, or thought has said it is conditioned? You understand my question? Do you understand this, sir? Which is it? Let's exercise. Come on, sir. Exercise your capacity.
If thought says it is conditioned,
then it's finished.
we're in the same field, idea and application.
Of course, of course.
So there is no release.
So again, see what happens. When thought says, I am conditioned, then thought is separate from the conditioning. Right? So then, in that duality, there's conflict, which is what our tradition is. It says we must live in conflict. And brain says, yes, we must live in conflict. Man, woman, the individual, the collective, the whole thing, battle, battle, battle. So, can the brain know, aware that it is conditioned? Of course, it's very simple. The moment you ask that question, it is clear. If you listen. But I won't go into much the more complicated issue, which is, can thought, which is a fragment, you understand? Would you accept that, sir? Thought is limited. Though it has created gods, though it has created tradition, though it has created all the cultural differences, the political, national, religious divisions, thought is limited, finite. Right? Huh? Do you see it? Now, so whatever it does is limited. Right? So, it's very interesting to go into it, which is, all our life is based on thought. Right? Our emotions are thought, our affections are thought, our love is thought, our relationship based on thought, which is memory. You were so good to me and I love you. It's all the architecture, the gods, the rituals, the relationship between man is based on thought, and therefore limited, and therefore quarrels, battle. Right? Right? Right, sir? Right? So, is there a way of living which is not based on thought. So this is your challenge. Don't listen to it. For God's sake, find out. See, you are educating these students to acquire knowledge so that they can act skillfully in this modern world or unskillfully, and their whole process of living is based on knowledge, right? Which is limited, right? Knowledge, whether it's Einstein's or yours or mine or any knowledge, is always limited, because its knowledge implies the past. So, you are educating these students to live a limited life. Right? Right, sir? And so you are helping them to live a beastly, quarrelsome, egotistic life. They may be good at mathematics and get a good job, but you are educating for that. And so I ask myself, what am I to do as an educator with so many children and as my total responsibility that they must have knowledge and yet realize knowledge is very limited. And any action based on knowledge, except cycling, building a bridge and so on, any knowledge in relationship is destructive. Go on, sir, this is your problem. What are you going to do? That's the challenge you've got to face. If you are worth this, so as a good educator, that's your challenge.
There can be some moments in living without thought.
Oh, so
total living
it's
without
like saying
thought.
some moments I have no pain.
In spite of myself.
Huh? Yes, that's right. In some moments, oh Lord's sake, don't bring in some moments, it's meaningless. A man who has toothache all the time, some moments I'm free. He's nuts. He's neurotic. So I have to do something. You understand? That's the challenge I have. I've got to do something. That is, I have got to teach them mathematics, knowledge, how to drive a car and all the rest of it. But any knowledge in relationship is destructive beyond words. If I say, you're my wife or husband, and I love you, it's all, you follow? I wonder if you see all this. Is love a remembrance? Huh? If it is, it's not love. But we live on remembrances. Both sexually every way we live on remembrances. So can I? Sir, please, this is your challenge, for God's sake, listen. Can I help those students to be totally different human beings? Otherwise, you are not worth the salt as a teacher. You are here then merely, get few grains and few rupees and few, a little comfort and a little, for God's sake. I better stop now. What do? Do we meet more as educators?
Shall we meet again on Thursday, sir?
Huh?
Thursday.
And day after tomorrow I talk to the students, is that it?
Yes, if you talk to the students day after tomorrow, Saturday we can meet.
No, which is more important? Please, sir, say it, or talk, discuss. Which is more important, that I talk to the students or we all talk together?
Shall we meet on Thursday? Then you talk to the students.
Right, sir? What do you say? Sir, what do you say, sir?
Can we meet tomorrow?
Sir, what do you say?
Tomorrow.
What Mr. Prasad says is already.
I want to know what this gentleman says.
We'll meet on Thursday, sir.
Geez, I mean...
There's another slight thing to this. The Bangalore teachers may come here on Saturday and Sunday.
We'll have them.
And on Saturday and Sunday consecutively,
we'll have a discussion with them.
the teachers.
Yes.
So I suggest on Thursday, as the students are waiting.
So, all right, day after tomorrow I talk to the students.
Tomorrow you speak to the students. And we could
Student means all of us.
All of us.
I'm also a student.
And Saturday and Sunday, we could have a meeting along with the Bangalore teachers.
Right.
With the ball.
But we would like to have some more informal meetings so that we can more informal meetings. So that
You
we
mean
get to
in
know
smaller
what-
groups, you mean?
Smaller groups, yes. I
Yes,
mean,
Do you want to meet every
so that
day?
we don't lose the thread of.
Yes.
So what do you propose?
I don't know, sir, I don't know how much time we have.
Listen to me. What is it you want? Sir, what do you think? Answer me, sir. Don't look at him.
I feel we should have more informal meetings, sir.
Like this?
Smaller groups.
Smaller groups, sir.
Smaller group. Which is what?
How do I have a smaller group?
Is it cut that half and this half and that half? Which I don't know what you mean.
Now one thing.
I mean, we would like to have such big gaps in between so
Big
that we don't lose the
yes.
thread of what you are
So
saying.
you would like to have it every alternate day? Which,
So you tell me, sir, what you all want.
tomorrow I think Krishna is rest one day.
Don't bother about me.
Is it possible for you to meet the students and the teachers on Thursdays? Will it be possible? Will your help permit it?
I said, sir, forget me, tell me what you want.
Class 10 students are waiting, so probably we should give them a chance.
Class 10 is not possible.
Class 10 and class 12 as well.
Huh?
Class 12 as well. In a way they are like teachers, they are grown-up students.
You tell me what you all want.
I suggest that we have the meeting on Thursday with the students as well, and see how we can sort it out.
But as Ms. Leela Rao says,
Thursday?
Thursday.
That's the last day.
Last final exam.
Today also.
Friday they don't have the paper?
Friday they leave.
They leave, see, they're going. So really we can't help the 10th class students because they have to go and we have to make place for the visitors who are coming. It is,
No, we'll have one on Thursday with staff and students, whether the 10th are there or not. So
10th won't be there anyhow.
won't be there anyhow.
So,
Evening.
No, it's not possible to have the 10th anymore, sir.
I think we'll have the meeting on Thursday with the students as well, and we'll sort it out. If it's possible to have a meeting, an informal meeting, a smaller group. I don't
what do you
know.
mean informal? This, what I mean this?
Informal, yes. I think there is a suggestion that we should meet every other day, teachers only.
Would it be better if only the teachers came and not others?
I don't really think so because I think this is not confined just to school mastering. What we are discussing here.
What do you say, sir? We're all so shy that what is it? Surely you all want something. Which is it?
If you have the meeting in the morning with the students, and if you feel like it, we can have a short meeting in the afternoon.
No.
If you feel like it. I don't think it's possible. Too much.
What do you say? I'm keep quiet. You go on. Settle it. You're up there.
Surely if we listen in the morning with the students, that's surely a lot to take.
Yes.
Thursday evening, so that 10th also join.
We'll sort it out. I think as it stands, we'll have it on Thursday with the students. That still keeps the alternate thing because we have students as well.
So, Narayan, Mrs. Rao said that you won't keep the thread going. Huh?
We have the students only on Saturday morning.
We could have that, yes, we can have it that way, but I suggested Saturday because the Bangalore teachers are coming. I think they would be as keen as we are to be in a small teachers' discussion like this.
Will they be in time for the meeting in the morning?
Yes, we'll get them in time.
When are we having these programs, Mr. Narayan? Second and third morning or?
Second and third, second is still Lal.
Second.
Lalgudi is not coming. Third will have it.
Do we say Amen or Om?